Well, folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hoppin' French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome. Glad you're with us. It's Blake Grupe to get this one started, and off we go here in New Orleans. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. First play, and Purdy wants to throw it. Open man is Juwan Jennings. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he goes out right around the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now Purdy. Completes it to Jennings. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Purdy will look to throw again here. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 51 yards. And the Niners will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll get this one underneath to Kamara. So the completion good for 7 there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Play action. Now Purdy. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
And he's got room. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Throwing here, Purdy. And this is caught, Jennings. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
In motion, the tight end. Again, McCaffrey. And this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that...
And this time he is in.
Yes.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Boy, we talk a lot about Christian McCaffrey and what he can do in the open field, and it's easy to gloss over how tough he can be to stop near the goal line. And he shows you just how tough he is on that carry as he takes it into the end zone.
Moody good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gets this complete to Shaheed. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. His 2nd catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's 2nd down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Second and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. Purdy looking to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. This complete right side to the tight end Farrell. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Purdy now to throw. Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
And his kick here is good. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. So a great first quarter continues here as they add on to that lead.
And Brandon, I think it sets up what's going to be an important drive because it's now 17-0. So the other guys, they got to figure out something quick before this game gets away from them.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They go play action here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive? Because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now back to throw. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. $17-0 our score after 1. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Back to throw now on 1st down. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. 28 yards. And the Saints get a bit closer.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Now the point after, good by Groupie. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
The holding penalty negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. Here's Purdy. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Up the gut, McCaffrey. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Back to throw, Purdy. And he's taken down here by the Saints. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
3rd and 19. Purdy. Five yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowsky to punt the football. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. The pass caught by Olave. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
2nd and 6. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. So the completion good for 6 yards, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. He'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw again. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal.
On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jennings. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Now Purdy.
This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here's 2nd and 7. Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Purdy looking to throw.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Throwing here, Purdy. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. Purdy now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 12-yard line. 15 yards there for number 15.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Second and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Purdy sets up to throw again.
Touchdown 49ers.
Juwan Jennings.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Niners will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there, because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Moody good with the extra point.
And the lead now up to 14.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Now 2nd and 5.
He'll look to throw.
Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Third and 5.
Back to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Here's Purdy. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Back to throw, Purdy.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Purdy.
Flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
They'll set up to throw.
He gets this complete to Shaheed.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw.
Locates Kamara on the out route.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line.
He'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Operating from the gun, Purdy. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Out of the gun, Purdy.
Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. That is caught.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Back to throw here.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
The tight end in motion right. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He said throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything be neutralized.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara.
A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Saints are back within a score.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there.
And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Purdy off the play fake.
That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
Purdy now to throw.
To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
12 more yards there and another first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Slot man moves right.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Again to the big tight end, George Kittle. And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as a tackle made at the 18.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter.
Purdy sets up to throw again.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
McCaffrey will score. Touchdown, 49ers. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Moody good with the extra point.
And the lead now up to 14.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And Shaheed going to go in motion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10
at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now Purdy.
This is Jennings. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Back to throw, Purdy.
And this is caught, Jennings. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's Purdy.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
2nd and 10. Purdy. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Well, they've had success getting the ball to him out of the backfield, but this time they had a man right on him. He was able to break that play up before he could get started.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
Tries the left side and finds Olave.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The drive had started well after a punt last time. Now it's slowed down a bit, and let's face it, they don't want to punt the ball in back-to-back series. They want a sustained drive on this one.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Catch made, it's Moreau. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
He'll find Shaheed out to the right.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This is a tough situation offensively because down 3 scores, the field goal kicker's not even going to come into play here. As an offensive play caller, though, you know you have to take chances. This is a time to get creative.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Juwan Johnson
from 3 yards out.
And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the 49er hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
59 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. From the shotgun to McCaffrey.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This is McCaffrey on the give.
And he will have a Niners first down, and that ought to be the one that seals the victory.
The pick up there as that extends this drive. Be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Purdy down to a knee, and that should be the final act of the ball game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.